Is it working? Hi, Anita. Oops. Okay, let me just adjust my chair. There we go. We're all set. I'm really low. Let's see if you can see the cards here. Okay, so I read through your messages again. I've sort of got an idea of what you're going through, and I think this little battle isn't over yet. Just give me 1 minute. Sorry. Vacuum behind me and some art. This is my messy corner. I don't know why I decided to film over here. So, with the job and their take it or leave it offer, um, like here where I live, we are protected by laws that if your doctor says you're sick, and the company can't do anything about it. Nothing. And when you return, in most cases, they will make you feel really uncomfortable when you try to come back, and they can't guarantee the position that you had before, but they still have to pay you the same. So, how about there? What are the laws there? What protects you there? And when you talk about your depression and anxiety as well, are you I want you to think hard about this question because I feel like your initial response is going to be no, no, of course not. I think you might qualify for a disability type benefit. I don't know if you have something like that there in France because the depression and the anxiety is long term. This isn't something that it comes and goes, I get it, but this isn't something that's going to go away if you get overwhelmed or uh, yeah, anything sort of strenuous in your routine happens, this is gonna happen. So, and I honestly, I'm there with you, Anita, seriously. I only work part-time right now because I can't handle the world on fire behind me while I'm typing emails. You know what I mean? Like it just seems ridiculous to me. So I think there has to be some consideration there. And I know you're thinking, I'm not disabled, or disabled people in this country are treated poorly. Nobody has to know. It's nobody's business. Nobody has to know. So maybe there's an opportunity there somewhere. And if there's not, is there an opportunity for a lawyer? Because this company is trapping you. They're not giving you a choice. And I just feel like that is illegal. So maybe you don't need to hire a lawyer. Maybe you just need to have a conversation with a lawyer and get their input on it. So, yeah. But I see a pretty quick transition into art. So you mentioned something about jewelry making. I'm just going to show you some of the cards I got. So the death card, but I picked it up in reverse. So this is uncomfortable change. It doesn't mean anybody's dying. It's uncomfortable change. Okay? I'm sorry. I think you knew it was coming, right? So this is going to be the budget changing. This is going to be the getting rid of, your favorite coffee place every day. That little changes like that you find really pleasant and really make your day better. But those are the changes you're gonna have to make. Okay? And I do see like a battle. So I don't think you should give up the fight and give in to demands. Because really, does that make you We want to keep making choices in our life that are going to help us evolve, right? Help us change, help us become the best version of ourselves. So, and sometimes those decisions are really hard. And if you feel, I can't remember how long you said you've been working with this company, but if you really feel like you need to stand up for yourself here, then good. But if you feel in your heart that you are finished with this job and you don't want to have anything to do with it, then that's a battle in itself. It's making the decision is the battle in itself, really. It's a big decision, right? Remember too that when we walk away from situations where we didn't stand up for ourselves and we lose the opportunity to stand up for ourselves, it aches for a while. It eats at us for a while. So I want you to make sure that you say everything you can for your own behalf. You don't have to worry about what they care about. Don't worry about them. They're disposing of you. That's what they're trying to do. So they're trash to you right now. I mean, you might have some friends there, I get it, but you know, just make sure that you speak up, you confidently say everything you need to say, and then you get to walk away with not, I don't like to use the word closure because that's like a fake thing, but you do walk away feeling like you made the right choice. But I think you're going to notice that pretty quickly. You're going to be like, I don't know, the choice that you make is going to make you feel so relieved that you just, find a path really quickly because it's been sitting there for you the whole time. Do you know what I mean? Like when I'm finding that the theme of this is opportunity. So we're walking away from something toxic. You haven't made your decision yet, and I just said you're walking away. So you're walking away from something really toxic. And now you can go one of two ways. So I understand that you have depression and it's a lot harder to do this, and I understand that you have anxiety. But if you're taking a walk down the street and you're noticing there's trash on the ground, or you're noticing that your favorite store closed down, that's looking for disappointment. Instead, I want you to look for opportunity. So if you go for a walk and I'm literally saying this, go for a walk. If you go for a walk and you normally look down, I want you to keep your chin up. Okay? I know it's hard sometimes. I worry about falling, but keep your chin up. Okay? Look in places you don't normally look. Get off your phone. Just for a moment. Just for a moment. Okay? Focus on your daughter's happiness. Just for a moment. Okay? And remember, in those moments where you are feeling at your darkest, the easiest thing for you to do is do that. Be in the moment. Be in the moment. In the attitude of looking for opportunity, but just being in the moment, right? So if I'm considering the moment right now, I am a happy person. I'm kind. I'm loving. I'm thoughtful. I make choices that are good for me. I eat food that's good for me. Things like that. So if I think about that in the moment, I'm happy. I'm content. Now, when I start to broaden to the future and to the past, yes, of course, I'm going to start to think negative thoughts, right? So to get back into your center and be your best self, I want you to do that every once in a while. You can do it on your morning coffee, whatever it is that your routine works in your routine, okay? All right, now we're going to talk about the jewelry making. We're going to forget about this negative garbage, okay? We're going to talk about the jewelry making. And I have this card. It is literally an art class. How do you feel about teaching jewelry making instead of just making jewelry? Here's the thing. I think you should create an inventory of jewelry while you are recovering from the trauma of leaving a job. My cat's wandering around, so you probably hear some noise here. He's interested in what I have to say. Oh, he's going to make a big mess. So did I. So, and then the card beside it, I love this card. It's so beautiful. In other decks, it's a bit of an ugly card, but here it's so pretty. She's just gardening at harvest time. I love it. Taking advantage of the opportunity. If you're good at jewelry making and you love it, why not share it? And I'm not talking about your friends. You really have to work hard at this. I am an artist myself. I do this all the time. So does my mother. I've seen her go through it. It's hard. But now she teaches private lessons. She charges what she charged before for a class full of students. So maybe there's a lovely building near you where, you can rent a room, and don't rent the room until you have the class full, but you can start on YouTube, but you have to advertise somewhere, right? So social media is really the best way to do that. You could do it all online, but you have to make sure you have a good camera. So there's that. Okay, that's all I'm going to give you for advice for that, because this is going to happen. The jewelry making thing, it's going to happen. It's the route you're going to end up in. I can see it. So to start, work on creating an inventory of jewelry without having to sell it, without having the pressure of, do you know what I mean? But package it up so that if you have a class, you have an inventory to sell at the end of the class, maybe, if you're doing a class live anyway, or you have an inventory online. So if people want to browse through your inventory and they're like, oh, wow, I want to learn how to make that. Oh, here's my class. You know what I mean? I'm a marketing person. I'm talking about it a bit too much. It's just my marketing brain. Okay. When I asked about obstacles, I haven't even asked about our outcome yet, but I have a feeling I know what it's going to be. When I asked about obstacles, again, I find these are very similar obstacles to my own life. The idea of how are we supposed to go on. Excuse me, nobody wants to see your bum bum. No, come on, get down. When it comes down to it, we don't like how hard is it for us to go through our lives, go to the grocery store, the market, whatever, go coffee with friends while the world is on fire. And I have this problem a lot. I get lost in the world is on fire thinking. Okay. I'm actually creating an art piece like it for exactly that thinking right now. And I'm literally going to show you the cards I got. These are zombie cards, so they're a little bit apocalyptic. But I just want to show these to you. They're really beautiful cards. Oops, it's like this. Yeah, I think instead I don't want to overload you with advice. I really don't, because everything I just told you before now is enough. If you don't do anything else other than that, it's enough. It's enough, okay? This is just extra. Okay. So I think you're going to have to come up with tools to get yourself out of that thinking. If you find yourself thinking about maybe mistakes you've made in the past, or how are you going to feed your daughter in the future, I I'm trying to tell you not to get caught up in that because everything works out. Okay? Everything works out. I've been in the depths of despair financially. I've skipped a few meals. My son's tummy was full by the grace of God, the universe, source, whatever you want to call it. You know, it will work out. You'll be okay. All right. So maybe write that on your mirror. I'm okay. Convince yourself somehow that you're safe in this moment. And you have the biggest heart. And I want you to know that it doesn't go unnoticed. It's it's sorry. I don't meet many people like this who have you find yourself in relationships and friendships, family, anything. You find yourself in relationships where you're the giver and you give way more than other people give because that's what you like. You love doing it. That's how you show love. Sometimes we get taken advantage of for that, but we're not going to look at that right now. That doesn't matter. We're going to, that, once you grow out of the looking for disappointment and the seeking opportunity and the being able to keep yourself in a moment and understanding that in that moment you're happy, you're content, you're not stressed, you're not in a toxic relationship or toxic workplace, those kind of things. Once you do that, I just think so much good is going to come into your life. I see a dream home scenario. And if I look far into the future, I do see a little bit more struggle with depression, but this is something that's going to follow you. And I have the same problem, and we're just going to accept it. We're going to let what comes come and let what goes go, right? I think too, they're sort of showing me my own growth and how far I've come, and that I used to be boy crazy, relationship jumper, whatever you want to call it. It used to be hard for me to be single. And now, if I meet somebody new and they don't make me as comfortable and happy as my two best friends and or myself, then they're not worth my time. And so I have this small handful of incredibly supportive and loving people in my life, and it has opened up so many doors for me. It really has. I don't know how to describe it. When you start making the choices that are really truly good for you, then that's when the opportunities just start flying right in front of your face. You can't miss them, right? And I think your heart comes in here somewhere because when we create art and we don't have soul, I know a couple people like this who paint, and while it's a beautiful painting of a scenery, it's still maybe empty. So you have that soul, you have that connection through your art as well. And other people will see that in your art and will want to buy your art or buy a lesson, right? See, they showed me this too. And this reminds me of my group of friends, incredibly supportive women, so supportive, really. And they will tell me when I'm wrong. And I love them for it. And then I'm going to pull some outcome cards, but I just want to show you the last card that came out. This is a strong, confident woman. She has her shit together. She's focused. She knows exactly what she wants. Okay? It's you. This is your future. All right. Can I pause it? I can. Okay, I'm going to pause it for a minute and shuffle your outcome, okay? Okay, perfect. Just as I thought. Look at this. I mean, can you see these? They're beautiful. This came again. I mean, really. This could be about your relationship. Your relationship strengthens when you strengthen. It also could be balance. You feel balanced, harmony, that kind of thing. Okay. I think the same thing is they're trying to tell us here about your outcome, right? So this isn't really about these are creepy. This is the zombie deck. I love it. But this isn't really about the king and the queen. It's about balance. Because they've got one in reverse and one right side up. Again, balance. Who doesn't want balance in their life, right? And then I pulled two more, and you got two sides, right? And the Page of Swords, which is like the pages have, they're looking for opportunity. That's what it is. Yeah. I love it. This is a good outcome. This is that kind of outcome I would want, really. You know, this is the first tarot reading I've done in months. I'll be really honest with you. I did a reading for a very good friend of mine who's no longer a friend of mine. And I was so spot on in the reading that they accused me of gossiping with other friends, getting information from other friends, and accused me of making assumptions about them. So obviously they were in complete denial about themselves, and I really didn't know, because I read as if people know about, are self-aware anyway. That's how I read. So this is a really beautiful reading. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity for that. I appreciate it. I can still read. And I didn't gossip with your friends. All right. Okay. Bye. It was lovely to read for you, Anita. Good luck. Okay.